Monza in Italy. 100 years ago, 3,500 labourers took just 3 months to create a 10-kilometre circuit, which was then the fastest on the planet. And it remains Italy's temple of speed. It's a welcome return to the fans, to autograph sessions, to some sort of normality for round 4 of the FIA World Endurance Championship. Benvenuti a Monza.
Hey, how are you?
As the championship heads into its second half, we still have races to come in Japan, in Bahrain. But for the last European race, we welcome newcomers to the Hypercar class. Peugeot have arrived with their new equipment. For everyone else, the stakes remain just as high, and the chance to race at such a historic venue is one to be enjoyed despite the heat. In GTE AM, pole on Ferrari's home soil for the Iron Dames, Sarah Bovey, the first female driver ever to claim an FIA World Championship pole position. And in GTE Pro, Ferrari also on top, though Corvette Racing split the red cars in qualifying. In LMP2, it was the number 22 from United Autosports, desperate to turn their fortunes around, who narrowly claimed pole from ARC Bratislava. Peugeot were here with 2 hypercars, one qualified strongly, the other one starts at the tail of the field. But the pole sitters, Glickenhaus, phenomenal pace from this small team on this huge track.
Se desta e nel municipio si cinta la testa, dove la vittoria riporga la chioma, chi schiama di Roma in Dio la creò. Si ciancia con morte, si affronta alla morte, si affronta alla morte, l'Italia creò. Si ciancia con morte, si affronta alla morte, si affronta alla morte, l'Italia chiamò.
Thanks to Gianmarco, tutti, orchestra italiana.
Time.
Lights out of Monza, away we go. Round 4 of the FIA World Endurance Championship is underway, and Glickenhaus with a great start, but the Toyotas ganging up on the Alpine. They're trying to go 2-3 into the Rettifilo. Big lock-up for Romain Dumas. He holds the lead, and the LMP2 cars are right behind them. The Peugeot angling around, still in 5th place. Everybody safely through the first chicane. Oh, spoke too soon. And that's the GR Porsche turned around, nearly collects the cars from the tail of the field. So a great start for the Glickenhaus. They've got the speed in clear air. The Alpine up to 3rd, needs to get ahead of the Toyotas as well. We'll take a look again. The Peugeot hanging back sensibly, but the Alpine, the darker blue car, trying to make sure it doesn't lose ground to the Toyotas on board. Got to get in behind that lead Toyota. Does he do it? Just in the GT Pro field. Very close indeed. Was there a little touch? Looks like the Ferraris got away without too much drama there. The Corvette trying to split them unsuccessfully. And right at the tail of the field, look at the Peugeot, just avoids drama there. Mikkel Jensen certainly had his wits about him, saw that Ferrari jumping the curbs, knew there was going to be an incident. Glickenhaus pulling away and pulling out of the slipstream. Here comes the Alpine. Mathieu Vazivière up into 2nd place. Like the Glickenhaus, needs clear air to exploit its speed ahead of the Toyotas. Again, replay, Vazivière down the inside, nice clean pass, late on the brakes. And already the Toyotas come straight back at Mathieu Vazivière. Back up into 2nd place is the number 7 car. This is going to be a long drawn-out battle, as is this one. Ferrari were not close to their rivals, not close enough at least in free practice, but in qualifying they produced great speed. Maybe they got the heat into their tyres a little better. Will that hurt them? The Corvette in 3rd, but Porsche already trying to look after their tyres. Battle for 3rd place in LMP2. The red car is Prema, just ahead. Real Team by WRT. They had a disappointing Le Mans Real Team, but they're on the podium in Spa. Can they be at the front? There is Carlos Tavares, the CEO of Stellantis Group that owns Peugeot, and a keen, enthusiastic racer. And here comes the 9X8. Look at the speed of this car. Mikkel Jensen in the 93 car from the back of the field, carving his way up the order. They didn't get to set a qualifying time. It had a technical issue in qualifying. Great to see so many fans here in Monza enjoying the action in beautiful sunny weather. And the Peugeot goes steaming around the outside of our LMP2 cars. A very distinct look back, showing the lack of rear wing. And there's trouble. Thomas Floor in the gravel. What happened there? This is at the newly renamed Parabolica, now Curva Alboreto. A tag as a late lunge from Paul Dall'Alana goes wrong.
20 seconds to full course yellow.
In the red and white Prema car, Louis Delatraz makes the move for 2nd place in LMP2 at the Rettifilio, goes around the outside of the Angolan driver Rui Andrade, and that will be just before we go to the first full course yellow, 12 minutes into this race. Early stop for the 51 Ferrari, our race leader in GTE, just topping off with fuel. It's going to be unlikely that any of these cars will save a stop, no matter how many full course yellows we get. Toyota follows suit, both cars topping off, but they are in chase mode as Glickenhaus leads. On board with Loic Duval in the 94 Peugeot, this now up to 3rd place on its debut. 15,000 kilometres of testing, and the car in its first ever race. The team in their first race as well. They have not raced in the top flight in world sports cars for getting on for a decade. And trouble for the 93 Peugeot, going very slowly at Variante Ascari. Mikkel Jensen, he's checking the mirrors. Obviously trying to reset the car, flicking it on and off. Linda Jackson there, the CEO of Peugeot, along with the group boss.
Kill still on, I cannot start, it dies immediately. Starter goes, but no power.
That sounds like electronic issues.
2, 1. We are under full course yellow. We are under full course yellow.
The moment we go full course yellow, the Peugeot starts to creep back to the pit lane, but the Glickenhaus that did not stop from the lead in the first full course yellow will top off its tanks in the second.
We have no more battery, so we can't use the MGU, so stand by.
Brave Marshall pushing the car, and eventually it will make it back into the pit lane. Challenge here for fourth place in LMP2. Ryan Cullen was in fourth in the white and black Vector car, but in car number one, Charles Milesi moves up for the Richard Mille Racing team. Lots of cars were out of position after qualifying in LMP2. LMP2 leader in the dark blue car, Will Owen, under pressure now from Louis Delatraz, who goes around the nose in the Retrofilio, does not manage to stay on track. He'll have to give that place back. Will Owen, of course, started that United car at Le Mans, went off on lap one, trying to put that behind him here, and Delatraz has run him down, caught up to him. And here at the first chicane, just getting in a little too quickly, could not keep it on the island. Battle for third place, Charles Milesi on the inside, just squeezing ahead of Rui Andrade. And Milesi with a new teammate this weekend. Lulu Wadu remains in the car, but there's no more Sébastien Ogier. He's been replaced by Paul-Luc Chatin as Ogier heads back to the rally stages for the rest of the season. Things hotting up in GTE Pro. Our Porsche coming back into the fight. This is Antonio Fuoco in the red Ferrari, just holding off Kevin Escht for third. The Corvette's already moved up to second place. Is Ferrari going to struggle in the heat? On board, under the banking and up to the Variante Ascari. The Goodyear airship overhead giving a great view to its passengers as the battle rages in GTE Pro. Looks like Ferrari have stabilised the ship. Oh, what's going on with the Toyotas?
Copy that. I stop on the side for fire cycle. Continue, and do left.
Sebastian Buemi asking whether he should stop and reset the car, as he had to do in Spa, and then the car refused to go. They had to abandon ship. Looks like the number 8 Toyota with more problems. And the Alpine has moved by very straightforwardly into third place, and will start to hunt down the number 7 Toyota that lies in second. Second place battle in Hypercar, looking back from Jose Maria Lopez. Here comes Masha Vazivia, poor Porsche driver in the middle. Oh, they are zigzagging down. Look at the traffic zigzagging down the straight. Vazivia can't get past into the Parabolica. Now he does. The Toyota carried in a little too much speed. Vazivia gets his nose in front.
Toyota, we're starting 6 laps.
Here comes the Toyota. It's got better top speed, but who is going to gain from the traffic in front of them? One LMP2, one GT car, and Vazivia just holds his nerve and hangs on to second place. United Autosports third place in LMP2, ahead of Real Team by WRT. Felipe Albuquerque in the car, Will Owen in the pits.
It was awesome to start from the pole. It's always a joy to be on the front row, and after Le Mans, it was good to have a clean start and a good, just first couple stints to get that out of my head. And yeah, I had that one small mistake where I dropped a tire, and then after that, I just had the Prema behind me, and actually my pace was okay to just keep him right there. And I was pulling away a little bit until I had a couple laps of traffic that lost me a little bit of time, and then I just couldn't quite get back up to him. So it was a fun battle.
Replay of problems at the chicane for Sebastian Buemi. Still having to harvest energy on the front axle using a steering wheel button. It's a big distraction. It means the car's braking is not how it should be either. You're going to have to try and reset the car as he pits. It's been a trying stint for the number 8 Toyota and for the 93 Peugeot, but 94 here, still going in fourth place. And the Peugeot's pace from free practice has been pretty good. Regular fuel stop and tyres for Sebastian Buemi. They will reset the car. Hopefully that should be good enough as we turn our attention to the battle in GTE Pro. Corvette taking the race to Ferrari for second place. They were in second, but here comes Antonio Fuoco, who's got the inside line, and that will decide the corner. He moves back into second ahead of Corvette's Nick Tandy. Textbook stuff at Monza. Down the inside into the first chicane, block pass. Dramas for the number 7 Toyota. Let's catch up with Sebastian Buemi, find out what happened to number 8.
We had an issue, electric issue on the car, so basically I couldn't brake properly. I didn't have traction control. The car was really hard to drive. I had no dashboard anymore. It was fully red, so yeah, basically I survived for a stint and a half, and then we did a power cycle in the box, and somehow it seems to be back to normal now. So hopefully we can continue and recover.
Into the pit lane comes the 94 Peugeot from 4th place, their first ever racing pit stop. They of course will have practiced these, but never done it in the race. James Rossiter ready to take over his first full racing stint. Driver change as well with the leaders. Romain Dumas is out. Pipo Derani slips in to the now bright blue Glickenhaus.
Well, yes, everything is running. I mean, I pushed quite hard the first 5-6 laps to try to have a gap. And after that, yeah, start to manage the brake. You know, it's for sure our biggest fear for the weekend, I mean, for the race. So let's see, we have a good speed, definitely. The car was very, very nice to drive. I think for sure the full course yellow was helping me a little bit for the brake to manage it. But let's see, a long way, but we enjoy. That's the most important. But yeah, we want, you know, so we see.
Out of the pit lane comes the Peugeot of James Rossiter. And look at the cars around it with their rear wings. The Peugeot without a rear wing. Look behind. Here comes the Toyota now. Is the number 8 car working properly? Remember, it had braking problems with Sebastian Buemi at the wheel. But now a lap out of the pits on hot tyres. Here it comes around the outside. Doesn't seem to be any drama at the moment. James Rossiter feeling his way into this fresh rubber here at Monza. Don't forget they won't have tested here, so he's not quite sure what grip level is available. Lets the Toyota go. This is about getting the miles under the Peugeot's wheels.
We know that we are in super high level competition. We are coming with a new car. We are still in the development phase. There is a lot to learn, not only with the car, but also as a team, the procedures and everything. And you know, you don't beat some guys who are here since 10 years, you know, at such a high level. So at the end, for us, you know, we are just learning, you know, everything, the process and everything. And then yeah, I mean, we are pretty happy, you know, as long as we do kilometers clean and we learn a lot, I think the job is done.
GT Pro battle in the pits, and this is where the team is so important. You can gain or lose a second in the pits that will take you an entire stint to make up on the track, and the strategy of how you use the limited number of tyres will be all important in the heat of Monza. Huge multi-car battles everywhere you look on track. Richard Mille Racing Team, Charles Malaysia, the red car, just been jumped for the lead of LMP2 by United Autosport's Felipe Albuquerque, and right behind, Real Team by WRT. Look at him checking the mirrors. Where is he? Where is he? Well, the Alpine comes past down the inside, but the Real Team, the lighter blue car, still behind Charles Malaysia, but a change for the lead in LMP2. Alpine going well in Hypercar. Real Team by WRT going well in LMP2. Here comes Ferdy Habsburg. Charles Malaysia on the inside. These two were teammates last year. Habsburg straight up the inside. Just gets it stopped, but only just. But that is enough. He's up to second. Different tyre strategies evolving here in LMP2. Malaysia on older rubber. What's happening here? This is down at the Roger. Oh, the Alpine from second. Getting it wrong under braking, going across the curbs in the battle with the number 7 Toyota. Toyota back up to second. Glickenhaus leads by a minute here in Monza. Ferdi Habsburg in the pale blue. Real Team by WRT machine closing in on the leader in LMP2. Down the inside, gets the move done on Philippe Albuquerque, straight by again. The tyre strategies playing out differently among these LMP2 teams. And right behind is the number 9 Prema car. He is coming hunting as well. That is the top 3 in the pits. TF Sports number 33 Aston Martin serving a long penalty. Enrique Chavez has just taken the car over from starting driver Ben Keating. Speeding in the pit lane. Away he goes back into the fray. That car nearly took pole position, but that was gained by the Iron Dames Ferrari in a fantastic qualifying battle. Driver change in the 28 Jota Sport car, the better of their 2 cars in the race so far. 38 started from the last spot on the grid after a problem in qualifying. Glickenhaus leading by a minute overall. But Glickenhaus with a drive-through penalty just announced. This is a stop for veteran trouble at that's Enrique Chavez, and that is at the Roggia. That is a huge accident. Enrique Chavez. Well, what has happened there? Into the Roggia, looks like he's got oh my goodness, takes off over the sausage curbs that rip the side out of the car and the floor. A big accident for Enrique Chavez. The youngster in a terrifying tumble at the Roggia. It looks like he had no brakes at all for some reason. And we are going straight to safety car, no surprises there. Worried faces at TF Sport, but he is out of the car under his own steam. What on earth went wrong? Safety car at Monza and a leader change. Safety cars never help the race leader. The Glickenhaus has come into the pits. They've done a driver change, but they're near 1 minute advantage erased by the safety car. And an awful lot of other battles will have closed right up too. There you can see the Alpine, the Richard Mille Racing team behind, but this is the new race leader. There was no driver change at Toyota in their stop under the safety car, so they are the now de facto race leader. Mike Conway at the wheel. So everybody rejoining the safety car queue. Olivier Plat in the Glickenhaus. Number 8 Toyota seems to be running okay again in 3rd place, and Alpine have dropped to 4th. That'll be disappointing for our championship leaders. 3 different cars have won this season. Alpine, Toyota number 7 and Toyota number 8. Will we get a 4th with Glickenhaus, or will Toyota win again? Halfway through the 6 Hours of Monza, that is how it stands. Anybody's race still in LMP2 and in Hypercar. And Porsche somehow fumble their way to the top in GTE Pro. Will that last? Who's going to come out on top in GTE AM? Still 3 hours of frantic racing to go. Here we go, back to green flag racing with 3 hours done, 3 hours to go. On board with the number 8 Toyota, the Glickenhaus right in front, the leader not too far away. Further back, the dark blue Alpine. Class battles as well, all the way down the straight in this massive throng of cars. Through goes the Alpine on the inside. The Glickenhaus is pulling into the pit lane. That's to serve its penalty. That was for a full course yellow infringement, and it was applied just before the safety car, but you can't serve a penalty under safety car. Tommy Milner on the inside of Michael Christensen. The yellow Corvette squeezes by the 92 Porsche. That's a change for 4th place. Ferrari no longer 1-2. The 91 Porsche has fumbled its way to the top of the pile halfway through the race. Is Porsche resurgent here? The 92 car trying to come back at the Corvette though. All trouble for Glickenhaus. And fans of 1980s Turbo Formula One era will recognise what that is. One bank of cylinders blowing smoke. That has all the hallmarks of being a turbocharger failure. The car that led so commandingly for half the race suddenly looks like it's in trouble. And is this going to be Toyota's day? Both number 7 and number 8 have won races. So has the Alpine that you can see there. They're coming through the smoke as the Glickenhaus heads into the pit lane. And that surely is the end of the race for Jim Glickenhaus and his crew. They wheel the car back into the garage. The body language says it all. The dream of victory has eluded them again.
We were monitoring the car. It was totally fine. The temperatures, the pressures, everything was good. And we just had a very quick catastrophic failure of a turbo. A brand new part, no reason. Normally you would have a warning it was going to happen. You would see you had maybe an oil leak or you had an intercooler that had failed or something. And then you could have brought it in, fixed it, and hopefully gone back out. But the part failed catastrophically. It probably dumped a lot of metal shavings into the system, and there would really be no reason to try to fix it and go out, because once the metal particles get into the oil, you could just destroy the car for nothing.
The Pink Iron Dames Ferrari is our race leader in GTEM. Right behind, the Dempsey Proton Porsche is in second place. The number 60 car, that's the yellow car, fourth place, but actually about to go a lap down here. The car that won on the road a week earlier in the European Le Mans Series here in Monza. Here's the battle for second in Hypercar. Brendan Hartley being chased by Nico Lapierre. Oh, and the Alpine deep under braking. Has to shoot the chicane. The Alpine makes its lap time advantage over Toyota, under braking and in the tighter corners. Toyota with the longer legs on the straight. Oh, and trouble for 31 WRT. Robin Freins at a near dead halt. Has he reset the car then? No, still not going well. The trouble for United. This is the 22 car. What is going wrong with the LMP2 cars? And Jota? Is that going at a normal speed? Yes, it is. So United and WRT in trouble. What's going on here at the chicane? Well, there is the United car. Oh, goodness me. Has that just come out of the pits? It has. It's just come out of the pit lane and is not proceeding at any speed, barely moving at all. Battle with, again, Nico Lapierre all over the back of Brendan Hartley. Goes the long way round the outside into the chicane. Great move for second place in Hypercar, but the Toyota comes straight back at him. There's a car on the inside. He's got to make room for himself, Lapierre. And the little celebratory graphic premature. The Toyota goes right around the outside. Back up to second. Lapierre's going to have to try and come round the outside into the Roggia. Can't do it twice in a row. Just didn't have track position. Brave stuff on the outside line. Look how close they get. Hartley with that last tiny little lock-up to avoid the contact. And Lapierre is at it again. Oh, Hartley does just enough to hold him off. Lapierre has to zigzag through the escape road. Look at that, swerving his way through. And how close did this come? Lapierre just locking up at the last moment. Brendan gave him about enough room to survive there. Into the pit lane, number 7, Toyota. This is our race leader. And driver change. Mike Conway jumps out. The Glickenhaus no longer a factor, so it is Toyota versus Alpine for the win. Alpine in as well. And Nico Lapierre stays in. Does Hartley get fresh tyres? And if he does he have a left side only or full set? Tyres are ready to go on. No tyres for Alpine. Lapierre will continue and will take the lead. Trouble at the Roggia, and that is our Pro-Am leader in LMP2, Mathieu Lahaye. Mathieu, come on. Making a mistake, under braking, yeah. Wasn't actually anybody else involved. He was lucky to get away without hitting anything. Four-way battle for third in LMP2. Number 1, number 9, Richard Mille and Prema. Then Vector Sport and the Blue Real Team by WRT. Paul-Luc Chatin in the number 1 car. Right behind him, Robert Kubica looking to try and get by. Locks up. Oh, tags the back of the number 1 car. Through goes the Vector Sport car. Iron Dames in the pit lane, still leading in GTE AM. The car on pole position. And a great story, this team ready to win their first race in the World Championship. And that would be a first ever for an all-female crew.
The race is still long. We try to keep cool. It's a bit difficult, more difficult for me than it is for Sarah, because I'm stressing myself a bit much, but no, it looks very good. It's very close. It's going to be close till the end. We keep pushing. Rahel have been doing absolutely amazing. Sarah did as well the first 2 hours, and honestly, we just try to enjoy, and if we can finish where we are now, would be amazing. If not, then we take it as well. We will fight till the very end.
What are we seeing here? This is at the Roger. The number 7 Toyota getting in too hot and just avoiding the gravel. Is this car now running into problems like the number 8 did? Problems for the Richard Mille Racing team. Car number 1 wheeled back into the garage.
Actually, we don't know what is the problem with the car. For sure, it's a gearbox problem. Because of the hit we got previously with car 9. So I think we got an issue with the gearbox because of the contacts we had. So, I mean, our pace was quite strong. And yeah, that's a bit of a shame. But I mean, yeah, we need to try to fix this and yeah, try to go back on track.
Toyota's number 38 pitting from the lead in LMP2, having started as the very last car on the entire grid. They won at Le Mans with a combination of pace and incredible strategy, and it looks like they may well do the same again here. But into Europol, having a fantastic race as well. The 34 car now moves into the lead. This Polish team still hunting for their first ever win in the World Championship. Esteban Gutierrez is now the race leader in LMP2. Iron Dames leading and continuing to hold off Harry Tincknell. Rahel Frey, gold-rated driver. Harry Tincknell is a platinum. The Iron Dames still have Michelle Gatting to go. Seb Priaulx will continue driving for Dempsey Proton. This is going to be a fascinating battle through to the end of the race. But the Iron Dames looking for their first ever win in the World Endurance Championship. 5 seconds stop and hold for the GTE Pro leading 51 Ferrari. That is for a data infringement at the last pit stop. That is going to cost them in such a tough battle. Tyre change for Alpine, full set as we head into the final 90 minutes. Toyota matching that. This is going to be a really tough battle for all 3 remaining hypercars. And Alpine are still losing a couple of seconds to Toyota per pit stop. Number 7 Toyota cycles back to the top of the pile. It owes us a stop. The Alpine comes out just ahead of number 8. That is not ahead enough. We know that the Toyota is very good through Curva Grande and down to the Roggia. So while the Alpine may hold him off here, and does so because neither of them have got much speed on board, just wait. As we come off the Rettifilio, they hit the throttle, and the Toyota is picking up speed right behind the Alpine in the tow. Which way is he going to defend? Well, no real defense shown there. The Toyota goes straight down the inside and back into second. It is a Toyota 1-2, number 7 yet to stop. Into the pits comes Kamui Kobayashi. This will be fuel only. The Toyota's on different strategies. And don't forget, although Toyota want to beat Alpine, the 2 crews want to beat each other as well. There's Kazuki Nakajima watching from the sidelines. He would have been part of this battle a year ago at Monza. And his place in the car taken by Ryo Hirakawa now. And here are the 2 Toyotas, and the Alpine mistake there by the leader. Shoots off track. Looking back from number 8. Number 7 came back out in front, but only just. And take a look here in traffic. Just gets it in too deep and has to bounce over those violent curbs. He survives. Again, a battle with the hypercars. Ryo Hirakawa really leaning on the Alpine of Mathieu Vassivière. And again, just pushing, trying to make space for himself. Vassivière kind of stuck on the outside line. Does he get through? Hirakawa is still there. Ryo Hirakawa showing exactly why he's been such a star in racing in Japan. All arms and elbows, no quarter given there.
You push me.
This is a very different dynamic from Toyota's Ryo Hirakawa. Really forceful driving.
Close the gap. Take the right of the car. Take the right of the car. I don't feel forward. Copy. Close the gap to car 7. Close the gap to car 7.
All too little too late. Hirakawa, a lap ago, was trying to get by the number 7 car to escape the Alpine, but the Alpine moves up into second place. Oh, and again, just leaning on his rival at maximum speed down into the chicane, but the Alpine holds its nerve. Vassivière goes through. Battle for the lead. Toyota versus Alpine. Mathieu Vassivière with a run down the inside. Fresh air, clear track. And Kamui Kobayashi makes contact, loses his tyre, instant deflation. Kobayashi trying to shut the door on Vassivière. And a major moment to try and get the car stopped. Vassivière comes through as the race leader. Has he got damage as well? Through too goes Ryo Hirakawa. Kamui Kobayashi will be heading to the pit lane. Look at this, at 260 kilometers an hour. A major incident there for Kamui Kobayashi. Just tries to close off his rival. Didn't judge it right. Well, this will be a saving grace for Kamui Kobayashi. He will not drop behind the LMP2 cars, which he would have done if the track remained green. The full course yellow is for his own tyre carcass. He will remain in third place, but they will need to change the rear bodywork so both parts come off behind the driver because the mounting is not in one piece. Hypercar led by Alpine, an hour to go, and clearly all the gloves are off here.
Well, from my point of view, I think Kamui did nothing wrong. It's a bit difficult to say, but yeah. So I think he was leaving enough space to Alpine. So from our side, we could have done nothing, and it's a shame that they ended up like this from a great battle. But anyway, the car 7 is still P3, so we are, still in a fight, and we still have nearly 1 hour. So let's see what we can do.
Full course yellow removed. Thank you very much.
Back to green flag racing. Alpine with the number 8 Toyota right behind, and that's right in the danger zone for the Alpine. Must escape as soon as possible. The Alpine is best, like the Glickenhaus was, in clear air, not bottled up behind a Toyota. New leader in GTE AM, the full course yellow has turned the class on its head. The Dempsey Proton Porsche was able to complete the entire stop under full course yellow. Their rivals in the Iron Dames, Ferrari, it went green while they were in the pits. They lost 30 seconds. Meanwhile, Spirit of Race, Pierre Rag with Giancarlo Fisichella. Is this a Formula One driver's move on the inside? Yes, it is. I'm coming through, parks it at the apex. Pierre Rag had to let him go. That was a big move by Fisichella. Look how far he comes from behind. Confidence there. Boy, that was a classy move. Battle for second place in LMP2. Alex Brundle and Nico Muller. Brundle in the yellow and green into Europol. It is still the 38 Jota car that leads. The last car on the starting grid is first, and Jota's 28th car in fourth place. They had first and third at Le Mans. They could do the same here again. There is Vector Sports' Sebastian Bourdais. He is loving this. Bourdais, a winner in Mosport a week earlier in Canada, and his car could well be on the podium here. There is the Brains Trust at Jota trying to engineer a double podium finish. But the 28 car under pressure from the blue Real Team by WRT machine at the moment.
90 second stop and go penalty on car 7 for causing a collision with car 36.
Back in the middle of the action in LMP2, 28 Jota car trying to come around the 92 Porsche and off. That is Jonathan Aberdeen in the 28 Jota car. It was the 92 Porsche he was trying to come around, and he has gone off in the second Roger. And that is surely going to put a real kink in their race. Let's take a look again. When it comes into sight, he's already on the grass. And he was trying to go around the 92 Porsche of Kevin S. Jonathan Aberdeen left with nowhere to go. Looks like Jota are getting ready for the car to come in as he gets rescued from the gravel. In the inset picture, you can see the Toyota 90-second hold. That's going to have a major effect on their championship chances because it promotes the number 8 car. Into your pole in the pit lane, and everybody on just about the same fuel strategy in LMP2 now after the full course yellow just before the final hour. On board the 51 Ferrari. On the inside, the 92 Porsche, Kevin S not giving up the position. Contact between the two of them, and this is for third place. Look again, Escher leaning on Alessandro Pierguidi. He moved to his left, makes contact with the Ferrari. He knows he's there. The Ferrari has a slight overlap. Escher moves left anyway. Alpine in the pit stop. 34 minutes to go. This will be the final stop. Toyota at number 8 in as well. One of these two should win this race. The number 7 with that 90-second penalty will be on the podium. But it looks, trouble for the Alpine getting away. After Glickenhaus blew up with a comfortable lead after 3 hours, let's hope there's no further drama among our hyperclass contenders.
Feeling really nervous, yeah. But I mean, so far so good. We are leading now. Still half an hour to go. But yeah, the car is really nice. We make a good job in the last pit stop to make quicker than them. So yeah, but I know, you know, until the second flag doesn't come, we have to wait.
Kevin Escher in third in the white Porsche. Alessandro Pierguidi behind him in the 51 Ferrari. Tried outside last time, tries inside this time, has to take to the grass, and that causes him to get too deep in under braking. He'll have to give the position back to the Porsche, and that won't be pleasant. Here comes Escher in the 92 car. Alessandro Pierguidi knows he'll have to give the spot back, otherwise it will be a penalty. So he just rolls off the throttle in Curva Grande, allows the Porsche to go the long way round the outside, and now he will attack again. Super tight battle for the lead in LMP2. The 38 Jota car leading from the last spot on the grid, and Real Team by WRT looking for their first win in the World Endurance Championship. Ferdy Habsburg on the hunt.
Well, the idea was for me to go in at the end, but with the way the race turned out now with the last full course yellow and everything, we're going to leave Will in the car, and we're going to triple stint the tires to try and keep track position. Looks like the WRT, the 41, has 1 lap advantage on us, so they will probably jump us in the pits. And they have pressure tires, so it is looking... Oh no, they just boxed behind us. That's great. So we might keep this track position. I'm a little bit happier right now. But they do have pressure tires, and Ferdinand has been driving super well. But let's see if Will can keep him behind.
Battle for third place in GTE Pro. Alessandro Pierguidi in the red Ferrari, right behind 92 Porsche Kevin S. They made contact in Curva Grande, and again in the braking area for the Roger. S just pushing the Ferrari straight through, but he ends up losing even more time. Not sure the stewards are going to enjoy this battle too much. It all stems back to Bahrain last year when Ferrari won the championship. clearly that still hurts. There is Kevin Esch, the 92 Porsche. He lost a lot of ground there to the Ferrari, and it looks like that battle is over. Every other battle in LMP2 is certainly alive. Vector Sport on the 38 Jota for second. Vector already on target for their first ever podium in the World Endurance Championship. It's a brand new team, brand new to racing, brand new to these cars, and Jota chasing real team by WRT, but Ferdy Habsburg, the team had a shorter final stop. Looks as though Jota overfueled the car a fraction by mistake and lost ground in the pit lane, and Will Stevens on those old tyres cannot keep up with Ferdy Habsburg. Will real team win this one? It looks like they've got a great chance.
Drive-through penalty car 92 for multiple contacts on track. That includes contacts with car 51 and 28.
Kevin Escher taking the penalty, not making many friends, certainly not with Jota or the Ferrari team. And that will cost them more vital points. Peugeot, though, with Loic Duval, will hopefully see the checkered flag with half of their cars. And that's exactly what they came for, to find out what a test car was like as a race car. And the answer is, it's got plenty of potential. Lots of questions raised over the way that they generate their aerodynamic downforce with no wing, but it seems to be working. 52 Ferrari, Antonio Fuoco heading towards the checkered flag, and the Corvette in second place, separating the Ferraris. Last few moments, a splash and dash for the Dempsey Proton Porsche, leading in GTE AM. Does everybody else have to stop, or are they out on a limb? They will regain the track just in front of the Iron Dames Ferrari. That's coming down the straight. There it is, the pink car. 6.5 minutes remaining. Who is going to win this? Will it be Dempsey Proton? Will it be Iron Dames? Or could Team Project One from third place somehow find the race falling into their lap? Michelle Gatting having a hunt down Harry Tinknell. Final fuel stop with 2.5 minutes to go from Antonio Fuoco, the leader in GTE AM. Will the Corvette have to come in? They have been fuel saving. Have they done enough? 2 minutes. It's going to have to be 2 laps. Have they got enough fuel left in the Corvette? Nick Tandy running towards the end of the race. Final lap here in Monza. Our first 2-time winner of the season is not Toyota number 7, is not Toyota number 8. They will be in second place. It will be Alpine who take their second win, victorious in Sebring, victorious in Monza. They extend their championship lead with their second win of the year. A hugely dramatic race in all 4 classes, and Alpine claim victory in Hypercar in Italy's Temple of Speed.
After a difficult Le Mans, it was great for us to bounce back, and this race today was just amazing. I think everybody enjoyed watching it, so that's a great news, and also good for us for the championship. You know, we know next one is going to be in Fuji on Toyota Isol, so it will be hard to beat them there. So we were happy to take this one.
Victorious in LMP2, real team by WRT, the team's first win in the World Endurance Championship, and Rui Andrade, the first African driver to win in an FIA World Championship event. The Angolan, congratulations to him, Ferdy Habsburg and Norman Nato. Corvette claim victory in GTE Pro. If you had to gamble on somebody winning a fuel race, you'd always go with the Americans. But how on earth did they pull that one off?
I mean, we thought, based on earlier in the race, the Ferrari seemed to have a lap better than us on fuel than what we could do. And we gave Nick a number that seemed impossible to me. He was just barely making it. And I guess at some point they thought they couldn't go, and we were sitting here thinking they had it in the bag, but obviously that wasn't the case.
Incredible victory in GTE AM for Dempsey Proton. Sebastian Priaulx, Harry Tincknell and the boss, Christian Ried, just ahead of the Iron Dames Ferrari. Victory here in Monza will help to assuage some of the disappointment of Le Mans for Corvette Racing. Ferrari 2-3, they close the gap on Porsche in the manufacturer's standings. And Nick Tandy needs to give lessons on how to get so far on fuel. He is the economy meister of GTE Pro. A huge crowd around the circuit and under the podium. Alpine celebrating their victory ahead of the two surviving hypercars from Toyota. One of the Peugeots classified in 4th place. But after heartbreak for Glickenhaus, Toyota still lead the standings from their French rivals. A huge result for Alpine. A first ever win for Real Team by WRT. Jota coming second from the back of the grid. Corvette somehow out-fuel fuming everybody else in GTE Pro. And in GTE AM, the Iron Dames finishing second, first ever World Championship podium for an all-female crew. Peugeot have joined the fight and they will continue in the hypercar class as we head to the penultimate round of the championship, a return to Fuji in Japan next time out. And Toyota will be looking for victory on home turf.
What you're doing with the fuel saving in hand.